Hello and welcome to the APMA podcast. Early, on time, as usual. A little bit late, maybe. Allegedly, possibly, maybe. Jordan will be with us. Unfortunately, he's been caught up at work. Oof. The working man. This wouldn't happen if he would still be working from home. But, he shows the career he's got now. He's happy in the job. But you do have the pitfalls of having to travel to and from a single place of work. But you got me for the time being. I don't know how long he's going to be. He's just going to drop in when he gets here, basically, is what's going to happen. Hello from wherever you're watching and wherever you're listening. Hope you're having a good time. If you are one of those people who decides to try and watch this whilst driving, please don't. Just please don't. Get that safety bulletin out there quick and fast. So, welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about. First, I'll probably talk about a little bit of the holiday because it was good. Don't know if anyone. I might have mentioned a few times that I was going to Centre Parks. Anyone who's watched the VIP episodes, I went into a bit more detail about how expensive it is. But overall, I'm happy with the holiday. It was good. Enjoyed it. But yeah, the main focus of this podcast is going to be centered around a certain game that's come out recently, which we will get to hopefully when Jordan gets here, because I know he's a big, big, big fan of Pokemon. And the game in question that we're going to talk about is called Palworld. It is literally as rip-off as you can possibly get of Pokemon, but just visually, like just the character design. Everything else is very different because there's guns in the game. Pokemon with guns is what is described as. So fair play. We'll talk about that in a bit. Ashton joining straight in. He said, "Big up, Lozzy. Hope you're well today." I'm good, thanks. I've been to the gym. I've destroyed my legs. I've had jelly legs. I went to the gym at like 8:10 this morning, and I finished probably about 9:10, 9:15. And ever since that, I've had jelly legs. I've still got them now. My legs just don't feel great. But is that a sign you've had a good session at the gym, or is that a sign that I will be wheelchair bound for the rest of my life? Time will only tell, But thanks. I hope you're doing well as well. Al Lozanator, up the APMA. As always, up the APMA. Got to be doing that. You know what I mean? Get the brand out there. Allegedly, possibly, maybe. Get it. Just tell your friends. Tell your nan. Tell your granddad. Tell anyone. Just stop people on the street, like the big issue sellers. Tell everyone about this podcast. So, yeah. Centre Parks. We'll talk about that for a bit. Now, if you have tuned in and you're expecting me to go absolute ham straight away on Palworld, look, it's a recurring podcast. It's not just for you newbies coming in, right? If you just expect us to kick off with the main story, just fuck off, all right? Well, actually, stay for a bit because you might like it. The Stoned Alien, big up the Lozzy pod. It does feel like the Lozzy pod, to be honest, but we're doing it. We're here. Oh, I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm enjoying it. I've done a line. I haven't. Look, I don't do drugs. Look, I don't know where that image came from. It's not self-inflicted at all. So Centre Parks, enjoyed it. It was expensive. Like, there's no way getting around it. It was expensive. We stayed in a very nice lodge, with a jacuzzi. So I would like to say that I made the most of the jacuzzi, but I feel like we really didn't. I think we went in it 3 times. And I went in the steam. Also had a sauna and a steam room. The steam room was a waste of time. It's the coldest steam room I've ever been in. I can't say I've been in many, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to be warmer than basically ice. And then the sauna, that is just not my place. I just cannot. I was in there and it was like 65, 70 degrees. And I was just like, oh, this is not the one. It's not a good feeling. I understand why people do it, but yeah, jacuzzi was nice. We went swimming a lot. And when I say swimming, we went on the fucking rides, basically. There was like 3 or 4 slides. And then there was like the rapids. The rapids were the one. Honestly. I was going down like chest first with my arms out, just staring in the rapids. Absolutely smashed the fuck out of my abs and that. Oh, but it was worth it. It was worth it. I will just say that if you are ever thinking about going to Centre Parks, I don't know about the other ones because I've only ever been to one in Thetford, but you're gonna want to get a bike. You have to get a bike to get around, or you could walk. But you've already spent enough money to be there. You might as well just spend the extra money getting a bike because you can't use your car. Well, you can use your car, but you're basically disincentivized. Is that the right word to use your car? Because you have to go and park it like ages away from where you are. So every time you have to use it, you have to go get the car, bring it, travel, park it back up, and walk from. It's just not worth it. Yeah, but I'll give you a little bit of a guess, a little bit of time to guess how much you think a rental of a push bike for 4 days was, because we were there from Monday till Friday. So we only really had it for 4 days total, really, because we got there like I think we got settled down 3 or 4 o'clock on the Monday, and then gave the bikes back really early on Friday. But how much do you reckon? How much? The Stoned Alien's gone straight in with 300 quid. Nah, you have gone quite high there, to be fair. That's quite a high estimate. So it's underneath 300. It's underneath 150. Don't you hate it where you're trying to make a point and then people, overestimate it by going well above what you're trying to. It is what it is. It is what it is. Beck's the evil pixie. I've always wanted to go, but the prices have put me off. The prices would put me off too. If I was going to be honest with you, which I am, the prices are ridiculous. The Stoned Alien, look, you come the closest so far. It's £42. £42 each. So, and you get a choice out of a mountain bike, which I think everyone chose, or you get a different bike. I can't remember what it's called. Essentially, what it boils down to is what how do you want to look? Do you want to look like, you should be in like a 1950s, 1960s sort of British call the midwife scene on a push bike? Or do you want to have a mountain bike that looks like you are from, this side of the Second World War? It's a strange scenario because everyone picked the mountain bike, and it is probably the worst decision I've ever made in my life. The seat. Oh my god, the seat. Oh, it splits you in half. There's no ways of getting about it. It's rock solid. Like, there's literally no give in that seat at all. The people that are there setting the bikes up basically want you to not touch the ground with your feet. They set the seat up about fucking 5 inches above where your toes will physically reach the ground. But it is what it is. Just self-adjust it you back to your regular height and go from there. I must admit, we only really used the bikes to go to and from the main center in the middle. It was only about a 2, 3, maybe maximum 5 minute ride if we were going a bit leisurely. And it was very brisk all the time. It was January, obviously. It still is January, just about. And yeah, it weren't a great time to be riding a bike in that sort of weather. But at least it was dry. We didn't have one day where it was wet. So thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. Yeah, the bikes, not the one. Not the one. But they are kind of essential because otherwise you've got to walk everywhere. And that is just, you're then spending half an hour walking, maybe 40 minutes if you're that far away from everything. Because they do the sneaky thing, right? The more you pay, not the more central you are to everything, but it's definitely the less you pay, the further away you are. So I think we were in like the third from the top sort of best accommodation they had there. Um, so we weren't too far away from everything, but we were quite secluded. We had like our own area, and there weren't a lot of like traffic. There was basically just cleaners coming and going, and they all ride bikes. The cleaners, yeah. They all ride bikes. That's the kind of place it is. All the cleaners are riding bikes with their, supplies and whatnot in the basket at the front. But yeah, did enjoy it. The rapids were cool. The I would say I just could not stomach doing it. And to be honest, I don't even think I would have been able to do it. But there was a treetop like climb you did. Jordan and Dan, our mate Dan, did it. 40 quid each. And at the end of it, you climb up these go through the treetop canopies. You climb up to this big zip line, and then you zip line across this lake. It looks cool if you're not petrified of heights. Unfortunately, I am. Jordan was. He's not too good with heights either, but he did stomach it, and he did do it. So props to him. And I've got a video of that somewhere on my phone. But yeah, it was good, enjoyable. Did some little bit of mini golf or crazy golf. It was good. We had a good time. We went swimming 3 times or 4 times. So the rapids were the one though. I've said it a lot, but I'm gonna say it again. The rapids were the one. Ashton Mitchell is going fucking slamming on Centre Parks here. Centre Parks is just a rip off for everything. I swear all the restaurants' prices are higher than they are in your local town. You would be correct because look, I'm not gonna throw shade at Bella Italia, right? It's not my place of choice, right? Or my choice of place to go for a restaurant. But everyone wanted to go, or everyone was happy to go. No one protested. It wasn't my place to do so. I was like, oh, well, you can't really go wrong with pasta. I'll just have some pasta, something there. But yeah, I looked at the menu and I was like, oh, that's quite a lot for just a carbonara, isn't it? That's quite a lot. That is quite pricey. I think it was 15, maybe even £16. It was around £15 for a carbonara, and I was like, okay, that is quite spenny. Not sure about that, but it was a half decent carbonara. I did enjoy the little bits of bacon they put in it, and that is probably not the correct term. There's going to be people literally frothing at the mouth saying it's not bacon, it's fucking pancetta, you prick. Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm a simple man. I would say, unfortunately for my mate Dan, and I won't go too much longer on about Centre Parks because we're now 15 minutes into the podcast. Jesus Christ. Right. Dan, bless him. He was saving himself. We got a table booked at this American diner, American restaurant. I think it's called Huck's. Weird name, but whatever. And I think Dan wanted ribs at Bella Italia. Why the fuck Bella Italia are doing ribs? I don't know. Just stay in your lane. Maybe they're trying to branch out, so I will give him some respect. But Dan saved himself. He said, no, I'll have a pasta dish here. And when we go Huck's, I'll have the ribs because I know they do ribs. When we went to Huck's, I have never seen a more disappointed man than our good friend Dan. Sat there in front of his plate of, ribs would be a compliment. That calling it ribs is probably a compliment because they just weren't ribs. I'm sorry. They gave him a tiny pot of sauce, like barbecue sauce, for him to pour across this rack of ribs. That just so disappointing, just unbelievably disappointing. And the look on his face, just like, I've made a massive mistake. I should have had ribs at the Italian place. Do you know what I mean? It's just sad to watch, really. But he did eat it all, so is what it is. I had a burger there, naturally. That was all right. I wouldn't say it was worth what you pay, but I think that goes for a lot of the food establishments there, apart from the Pancake House, because that was banging. The blueberry pancakes stack, had one of them. That was good. I think everyone enjoyed that, to be fair. So Pancake House, that's a win. And it was the cheapest as well. Not by massive amount, but cheapest nonetheless. Ashton, 15 quid for a carbonara is disgusting in my opinion. Now, I would agree. I don't think a carbonara, unless you're going to like a quite a fancy place, I don't think you should be paying 15 quid for a carbonara. If you have like tuned in this far and you're like, where's the Power World like fucking Pokemon shit? Well, just chill out. We're talking about carbonara for a second and the atrocity that is a £15 carbonara at a major chain restaurant. Please calm down. We will get to the Power World shit. That is a disgusting amount of money for a carbonara, in my opinion. And that is my opinion. And also Ashton's, you know? But I still would recommend going to Centre Parks because as expensive as it is, I do get why people go there. I do understand. I get the hype around it. It's especially if you've got a family. If you've got a family, that is such a good place to go because there's stuff there for everyone to do. They got a sports bar as well. There's badminton courts. We did a bit of badminton. We did. It was good. They are sneaky again. You can only pay for 45-minute increments. So you can't have an hour. You can't have 2 hours, but you can have an hour and a half. And you can have 45 minutes. Oh, but to be fair, and I'm not saying you should do this, but if you did just bring your own rackets and shuttlecocks, just go on an empty court. No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. Ashton, if there's a massive group, then it's a lot of fun. Just the prices are too high. Yeah, I would say if you are going and you go as a massive group, it does make a lot of difference for the accommodation price. A lot of difference. A lot of difference. But for example, like ours was quite expensive because we had the jacuzzi and the sauna and a games room that got quite a lot of use because we played pool quite a lot. We had a pool table in there. That was good. But you don't have to have those things, and those things drive the price up quite a lot. So if you do, you know, want to just not have those things, it does become a lot cheaper. And the basic cabins you can get, which are perfectly fine. You don't get all the amenities, but if you're there for like 4 nights, fuck it, just do it. Bobby up the APMA. Hey Lozzy, hope you're good. I'm good, thanks. I hope you're well too, Bobby. I hope you're well. Right, I suppose we've been going for nearly 20 minutes now. We should probably start talking about this Power World shit. So, I don't know if any of you in the chat, anyone listening or watching right now, I don't know if any of you know what Power World is, but it's basically a game. It's a survival game, like Ark Survival. Um, there's no really other way of doing this, basically, or saying it. They've created characters that look a lot like Pokemon, and you get weapons in the game. So it's basically Pokemon with guns. That is what everyone is calling the game. And it's kind of taken the gaming kind of, I don't know, the gaming community by storm. I feel like there's a group of people who think this game is really good, and there's a group of people that think this game is an atrocity against God. Where do I stand? I don't know. I like the idea of Pokemon with guns. That makes just total sense to me. And no one why no one is done this before, like licensed? There's two sides. I don't know why anyone's not done that before involved in Pokemon, because it's just let's get this brand out to a more mature audience. Let's just put knives, bats, LMGs, RPGs, you know, just put everything in there and let him go ham. But no, I get it. It's a family friendly kind of, safe, very, chill vibes sort of franchise Pokemon. But it's just a bit I don't know, it's just a bit narrow minded to think that your brand will just survive. Basically, if any of you like Pokemon, I love Pokemon for the nostalgia that like literally remembering playing Pokemon Blue and Yellow on my Game Boy is like a great memory. And I think a lot of people share that memory. I know Jordan does. Jordan loves Pokemon. He still plays Pokemon now, like the older games now, right? But I feel like the nostalgia of that hides the fact that ever since like Gen 2 or 3 Pokemon, it has been an utter shit show. Like they have literally just released the most stupid looking and just the stupid looking characters or Pokemon, right? Given them the worst names possible, and they've innovated nothing with that brand. Bob Bobby says Pikachu with an AK-47. That is what we're talking about with Palworld. So what Palworld have done, they've just gone, well, Pokemon are doing nothing with this. And obviously they're not going to let us just use the license for free. So let's make our own Pokemon and call them something else and also give them guns in the game. And that is it. That is basically it. I mean, it isn't just it. There's many more complexities to the game, but the bare notion of the game is Pokemon with armaments, you know, with guns, with baseball bats. You smack them up a bit. You know what I mean? I feel now, I might be being a bit controversial here, but I feel like Pokemon's just a bit shit now. It really is. Like, Jordan's not going to like it because he still loves Pokemon. And I do. I like the nostalgia of it. I've said it before. But it's just gone downhill. Bobby, have you seen any gameplay yet? I have, and I would show you gameplay, but the last time I tried to show anything on this channel, like I think it was the cheese rolling, I got copyright claimed for that cheese rolling clip, even though there was no sound in it from that video. I skipped multiple times in that video, so it wasn't like I just left it playing for the entirety of the thing. So I just don't think it's worth the risk now, to be honest, to put gameplay up. Unless it was my own, of course, but I haven't got the game yet. I want to download it. That might be the next game I try, because I think it's on Xbox Game Pass. So it could be. It could be. But yeah, Pokemon just isn't the one. It's gone downhill. I'm telling you. Sorry if you don't agree. It's just an absolute fucking shit show. Like this game, Palworld, this game looks better than any Pokemon that's come out, any Pokemon game that's come out in like the last 10 years. Easily. It's more, I want to say it's more innovative, but it's just different. It's just different. Even like if you look at the Pokemon cards, like I've got some here. I've got a few Pokemon cards. Just bear with me, I'll get them. Even like the Pokemon cards back in the day, I've got nostalgia for. And now I can't find them. Maybe I haven't got them. Maybe they've been stolen. I don't know. Let me just see if I can try and find these. Do you remember Digimon? I do remember Digimon. However, Digimon has always been the lesser of the brands, hasn't it, really? Digimon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was another one. I never really got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Though. Right, I can't find my Pokemon cards, so just ignore that. Just ignore that. And Jordan's here, so I'll get him in. Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I got kept at work.
That's it.
But on the bright side, came home to a delivery. Can you guess what I ordered?
Palworld. Ah, he's got a fucking lead shirt.
Yeah, they've reduced lead shirts on the website to 28 quid. So I was like, oof.
Is that the current one though?
Yeah, this is today. This is this year's home shirt. Yeah, I've got all three this season now.
Oh, he's got the trifecta of shirts.
That's it. It's the first time ever that like football board, you know, the border advertising.
Yeah.
First time it ever worked on me.
Ah, there you go.
Just saw it going across like all lead shirts now 28 quid, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Fuck it.
There you go.
So yeah, but yeah, sorry, I got kept at work. I wasn't expecting it.
That's all right. I've just literally, just to recap you, I've talked about Centre Parks for a bit, and now we're into the Palworld stuff. Yeah, I know you enjoyed it. I think everyone did. But yeah, I was just literally just saying that I think Pokemon's gone a bit downhill recently. I know it's a bit of a touchy subject because a lot of people love Pokemon,
Yeah.
but comparing it to like, even if you look at the cards now,
Yeah.
like they just look, they look perfectly branded to kids riddled with ADHD,
Yeah.
and they just
Yeah.
don't. I like the clean look of the like older gen cards. You know,
Yeah.
I was gonna try and show one. Just I've got some somewhere, but I can't remember where I put them. But the difference between like cards from when I was young to now cards now, they
Yeah.
just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's kind of, I don't know, but this kind of lost me a bit with Pokemon. Also age as well, because you know
Yeah.
I'm getting older now. And but
Yeah. I know what you
what
mean.
what do you feel about this whole Palworld Pokemon thing?
But due to the nature of Nintendo and Pokemon, I am shocked that it wasn't like fucking, I don't know, atomized in fucking production. Like, how the fuck they've got this far? Like, I really want to get it because apparently it's amazing, it's really good. But at the same time, I kind of know that I'll be buying a product that I'm 99% sure will be copyright infringed to fuck probably within a week.
Yeah,
I just don't like Nintendo and Pokemon. Like, they are so fucking hard on copyright and stuff.
yeah.
Like, it's just blown my mind that they've got this far. It really has.
Do you think
And
that?
they're both Japanese companies, so it's not even like international copyright issues. It's literally the same fucking country.
Yeah,
So it's like local law. There'd be local enforcing local law is what I'm trying to get at.
yeah. Do you think that they've made it this far because there's not, other than they look very similar to some of the Pokemon, other than that, the games are not really that similar?
Yeah, no,
Do
no.
you think that's the only thing they're
It,
gonna hang their hat on?
I think so because you're absolutely right. Like this game, from what I understand, is a bit like kind of like Rust and
Yeah,
Ark, like,
yeah.
and obviously Pokemon is nothing like that. Um, but like, oh, man, like they're not even, in my opinion, they're not even trying to hide that they have
Oh, no.
just straight up, like, fucking hell. If you're gonna steal like designs and shit, I'd at least combine some. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I would take, I don't know, like a Gengar
mm,
and a Cubone and combine them into something, not just straight up rip off Gengar. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, there are so many Pokemon that are literally um just straight rips. And Bob Bobby says perhaps they've done the same as what they did with Disney characters and changed a little bit. Like in America, they have like parody law and all that sort of stuff. And obviously in the UK and Europe, we have fair use. But in Japan, they have neither. Like
right.
Japan is so fucking heavy on copyright. So I just don't get it. They must have. I also refuse to believe that this conversation hasn't been had.
Yeah, that's strange because I feel like at every opportunity, although you will get through a few that slip through the cracks, but as you said before, Nintendo and Pokemon are like it's hot on
Yeah,
anything, like nose and ears, eyes to the ground on everything and anything that could infringe on their copyright.
yeah,
So for the fact this has got this far to be on Game Pass
yeah.
is ridiculous.
Which makes me think that perhaps they've already had the conversation.
Maybe.
But have you heard about like the story of this development team and shit?
No, not really. I
I
just
watched
know.
an Asmongold video, and they've done like I think like a Reddit Q&A or a Discord Q&A or something.
Okay.
And they've literally said like, yeah, basically none of us knew how to like develop. We just had one guy that was really good at it, so he just showed us. The original artist was like a kid in high school. Like they just had no, they basically just failed forwards, and their
Right.
original budget for the game was 10 grand. And they've sold they sold like 1.5 million copies in the opening days or something.
I'll have a look. I think it's something like that.
It's fucking crazy what they've done. But they have just straight ripped Pokemon. There's no, obviously the game is different, but they've just straight ripped the designs to a point that is just like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it because Pokemon and Nintendo are not a soft touch in the slightest. They are actually the opposite in this, and yet there nothing has happened. I just don't see how it couldn't have already happened if it was going to, but I still feel like it will.
Yeah, there's going to be something said by. I mean, they already have released a statement saying something along the lines of, "We've received reports of blah 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 infringing on this. We'll have a look." Blah blah blah. But yeah, according to IGN, Palworld has sold over 7 million copies in 5 days.
How much is it? I know it's on Game Pass, but it's not free on Steam, is it?
No, let's have a look how much it's on Steam. I think it'll be around about 26, 27 pounds, something like that.
Is that how much it is? Fuck. For early access as well.
It's in US, it's 26.99.
Right, so it's probably about 20 quid, 21 quid.
Yeah.
That's mad.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's got a 9 out of 10 rating. So,
wow.
GG.
Wow. Yeah, if they get fucked, like they'll have to destroy the game and pay every single penny to Nintendo and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, no, it'll be Pokemon, won't it? I don't know why I keep saying Nintendo. It'll be Pokemon. But yeah. No, that's insane.
I've got a few. I think there's 10 characters. I looked for some comparisons of like which ones look the closest to the Pokemon. To be honest, most of these ones I have no idea.
I know, yeah, there are a lot of them are later Pokemon for sure. But there's one that is just like, okay, that's a fucking Gyarados. Okay, that's a fucking Umbreon. You know, it's just like it's insane.
All right, let's have a look. I'll pop it on the screen.
Because to be fair, like the games, I played Sword and Shield. That was like the late, and I did play Legends of Arceus, but you know, I absolutely bummed the fuck out of and still do from time to time, like Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3. Gen 4 is okay, like Platinum and stuff, but I that's where I tapered off.
Yeah.
I've only played like Black and White through Poke MMO and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm more like Gen 1 is my favorite generation. Obviously, I'm biased. Obviously, there's nostalgia at play, but I do feel like the designs have gone downhill. And I agree with what you're saying about the Pokemon cards as well. But yeah.
They just feel less special. I don't know. Maybe it's part of nostalgia kicking in, but right, let's have a look. I don't know this first one. Don't know it.
Yeah, see, neither do I. But look, that is the same thing. Like that to me is just the one on the left is a Pokemon game with a slightly different fucking art style.
Yeah.
You know. What else we got?
I don't know that one
Mega
either.
Aggron. Yeah, I know Aggron. I've never seen his Mega form. But yeah, I mean they've just color changed him and given him some wings.
Mega Aggron. So what's that?
Jet Dragon.
Okay, is that what
they're saying? Latios and Latias, yeah. Yeah, can see that. Garchomp. That's fucking that's fucking Toxicroak. Is that Toxic? No, Toxicity.
Some of these names.
This one. Oh yeah, like Boltmane and Luxray, man. That's nuts. I mean, try Google the Palworld Gyarados. It's a bit different, but even like the color schemes and shit are the same.
The one that I think is probably one of the only ones that I actually recognize that people are saying is very similar is Electabuzz. This one and Grizzbolt. That is very similar.
But even in front, them two, the little penguin, that's Piplup. And then the little fucking leaf cat thing, that's like Gen 5 starter. Like they can't. Like there's just no fucking way they didn't copy. There's just no way.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the small details where they try and differentiate, like the eyes and the mouth and the teeth and the ears. They're gonna say that there's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
one stripe.
unless they've changed it enough, like, you know, because all right, that's an Electabuzz on the right, but does that mean that Pokemon? I mean, electricity is a Thunderbolt, and it is like uh shown in popular media as yellow. So, like, because Pokemon designed the Electabuzz, does that mean that they own electric-looking bears? Like, so I guess they could maybe get away with it, but it's still fucking insane. I
Yeah,
mean, oh man, even that bird on its shoulder, you could argue is a rip of fucking Natu from Gen 2. It's just insane. Is there more? Oh, brilliant.
yeah, it's 10.
Shaman. Fucking hell. Brilliant. You're taking the piss, mate. There's just, yeah, this is actually insane. Like, come on, guys. Lucario.
I mean, that is quite sick.
Lucario's literally like one of the fucking poster boys for Pokemon, for fuck's sake. Like, but again, Lucario, based on like Egyptian mythology, like, do you own that? I mean, look at that. But this, at least they've turned it green.
That's true. It's a different color.
But even like, look, even like the bits at the bottom of the trousers around the knee, like,
Yeah,
fucking hell, guys. Like I saw a lot of comments online saying like I've sort of like tracked this game in production over the last 3 years, and I honestly thought it was a scam. So I'm surprised that it came out, and like you know, because it just looks like a it was. But everyone's calling it Pokemon with guns, aren't they?
yeah.
It's just, it's crazy. I do want to check it out for myself. I really do, because I
I've
do think
seen
it's something.
I've seen some footage of people playing it, and it is Pokemon with guns, but it's a lot more than just that tagline.
Yeah.
Because apparently you don't get actual like firearms until you're like quite a high level.
Oh,
So you start off with like baseball bats,
nice.
swords, axes, that sort of stuff. There's a lot of crafting in the game, building of like bases and that sort of stuff. So it is a survival game basically.
Yeah.
There's bosses and that in it, but you can catch the pals, which are Pokemon. They're basically Pokemon, but you can catch them with a ball. I think
Yeah.
they call a sphere, which is brilliant.
Nice.
A pal sphere.
Pal sphere.
I think that's what it's
Rather
called.
than a Pokeball, a
That's
pal
it.
sphere.
Yeah.
Like, I think, yeah, Ashton said it perfectly. This is like when your mate copies your homework and changes the sentences by like 2 words. It's fucking true.
But at the same time, though, I know I've already said it in this podcast, but I'd be interested to see what you think about it. But do you think that this sort of game is something that, and I know they've got their own brand, they keep the same vibe, they maybe don't want to stray too far from the roots, whatever. Did you not think this is a marketable sort of direction to take Pokemon? Just for one game?
Absolutely. Absolutely, because that's the problem with Pokemon games, is they're so like, the formula is repetitive as fuck. Like, they kind of broke the mold with Legends of Arceus, but like ultimately the formula is incredibly repetitive. Like, and like, so I play a game, or used to play a game from time to time, called Poke MMO, which
Okay.
is literally all of the Pokemon games in an online MMO. Like, the community is thriving, there's so many people play it, like, you know, and how the fuck Pokemon haven't taken their assets and made an MMO, which evidently works, because this like fan-made one that literally takes the files of the original games up to like Gen 5. No, yeah, Gen 5. No, I think it's later than that. Anyway, you know, it's crazy that they haven't done that,
Mm.
you know, and they just don't seem to branch out too far when it comes to Pokemon. I guess maybe because the brand of it in itself just makes so much fucking money. The cards make
Yeah.
so much money. The anime and that makes so much money that maybe they just like, why do we need to reinvent the wheel? But and obviously the merchandising, as you can see fucking behind me, makes so much money. But yeah, I don't really know. It's weird. They're definitely missing a trick.
Yeah. Bobby asked, do they have powers in the game or just weapons? I'm almost entirely sure there are powers in the game. So
Yeah,
the pals have what you would call like moves or
abilities and that.
I don't know. I don't know if they have weapons or you have weapons.
Yeah, no, I've seen like the pals with like miniguns and shit.
There you go. Oh yeah, they're in the literally on the cover art. There is a Grizzball with a minigun. So yeah, you can use. I know you can use them to basically fight for you against other pals. They use their special abilities and stuff when you. It's actually comically ridiculous how similar it is in terms of how you release a pal. Like you throw a ball, and they come out of the ball, and then they start attacking, and you like direct them to attack this, these other pals or creatures in the world, whatever. But yeah, it looks kind of cool though. I want to try it out for sure.
Yeah.
Just before it gets taken down, obviously. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it's a subtle ploy. Maybe, Pokemon are sitting there going, let's just let this release. It's doing quite well. We'll let it get to like, maybe 20 million copies sold. And then we'll attack them and we'll get the revenue.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, it does look quite good though. I want to try it. And I was interested to see if you would want to try it because I didn't know if you were going to be like one of the people who like it's a abomination against Pokemon. Can't be playing it.
Oh no, I don't give a fuck about that. And I'm still to this day like I collect Pokemon shit, but like when it comes to that, I just think fucking grow up. But it's the world's not all fucking sunshines and rainbows. But and also I don't give a fuck. Like as long as the game is good, I'll play it. But it just fascinates me. It fucking fascinates me that they're getting away with it.
Yeah,
that's what's fucking blowing my mind.
The best thing
it's fueling their marketing because there's all articles like, "Have you seen this?" And then people are like, "Oh shit, actually looks pretty cool."
The best thing is that the modern community is never shy of just dipping their toe in the fucking
yeah. Someone modded it to Pokemon, and they have taken that down.
Yeah, they've taken that down. But it was literally like it was out for 24 hours, and already there was a Pokemon mod in the game.
Yeah.
So you were playing as Ash, and you were literally this time they didn't just look like Pokemon; they were Pokemon in the game, which they obviously took out pretty quick because can't really defend that.
Maybe they are trying to take the game down, but it's not. Because it is so like maybe it's a bit of a long game like kind of case because they're evidently aware of it. Obviously they would be, and it hasn't really been too much of a solid statement. They said we're looking into it, but it's not definitive, is it?
No, I mean this game feels like this game is not necessarily come out of nowhere because I knew about it a while ago, but it just went silent, and I just assumed it was dead. It was gone, and then it was just not shadow dropped, but it was basically like, oh, here it is.
Yeah,
like I don't remember ever seeing anything because I get emails from Xbox about what's coming to Game Pass in the next month, what's leaving. I don't remember seeing an email saying this is coming. I was like, okay. So you just dropped that and went straight on Game Pass. Weird.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's interesting that a massive company like Microsoft has gone, fuck it, stick it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And Nintendo and Pokemon are just raging.
Yeah.
But it does, I think it does point to people have got a very kind of polarizing, or people have got polarizing views on this. Some people think it is just blatant stealing. Other people think it's just using some inspiration and just having a, making something of it. But
Yeah.
all I will say is the ones that we've picked out in that list, they are very, very similar. Very
Yeah. Yeah. See if
to the
hang
point.
on, let me see if I go on. Sorry, Carol. See if I can find the Gyarados.
Oh yeah, for you,
It's nuts.
the Gyarados. Yeah, that wasn't on this list. I think there was only 10.
Fucking amazing. They've even. Oh, you're fucking joking, man. It's called Jormuntide, Jormuntide, and they've even got a red version. Like,
Nice.
you've just got to fuck off at this point. Unless they're getting away with it, like maybe they're saying like you drew inspiration from mythological creatures and stuff
Mm,
in the world to make Pokemon, and we're doing the same. We're not drawing inspiration from you, we're drawing inspiration from what you drew inspiration from.
yeah, that's true.
Look. Oh, oh my god, there's more.
There's so much more.
There is. Oh my god. Oh wow. Look at this. It's a Spanish Nintendo. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. There's a Spanish Nintendo website, and they've compared even more. Oh, they do have their own Pikachu. They have a Sparkit.
A Sparkit.
My god. Oh man, there's so many. Oh my word. There's so many.
Okay. Right. Let me put this on the screen because these
Yeah,
ones, I
they've
would
gone
say these
hard.
ones are better than the other ones that I
They've
saw.
gone hard in the paint here.
Let's have a look.
So they're saying like some of them are combined, like I was saying.
Yeah.
Bravery, Loop Moon, and Zorak. The one we've seen.
Yeah.
Cognito and Murkrow. Sparky
Yes.
and Pikachu.
I would say they've kind of combined a bit of the design of Electra or Electabuzz in that one.
Yeah. Lift Monk.
Some of the names as well.
Beguard. Digitoys. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because you can also go, well, that's just a fucking turtle.
Yeah,
They
I
own
think
turtles.
this is going to be their defense. Is like you said, we're being inspired by what you've drawn or what you've made, but you were inspired by creatures that already existed, especially in the earlier gen Pokemons.
Yeah. Bristler. Boosie. Mega Mawile.
I've got to say, I know literally fucking none of these Pokemon. All right, I know that one.
Gale Claw. Pidgeot. Quagsire.
Jesus Christ.
See, I mean, look at so that one. Go up a second. So that one, right? Why would you think to put lightning in a zebra?
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue, well, why did Pokemon? Absolutely valid, but why would you as well?
Yeah, it's going to be one of them ones where you're like, well, come up with some elaborate stories that, well, we just thought that it would look cool if, this creature got like electrified or some shit.
Yeah.
But if you look at the color scheme, they've literally made the color of their one the color scheme of the eyes of the Pokemon.
Oh, yeah. So they're even leaving clues.
Yeah.
Alpha Duran. Nice. There's Lucario.
Yeah.
Just straight up called it Anubis. Oh, like, you know.
Yeah. That one I would say is more difficult to defend.
Yeah. Oh, it's just got lancers for arms. All right. Fair enough. Oh, another one. Nice.
Saw that one. That's
Yeah.
another. Okay. I don't really.
Rayhound and Lucario.
There's a lot.
There is. Like, I mean,
That's sailing close. That is sailing close.
isn't it? Well, I'd let that one go.
Yes, it's the fin at the top, really, for that one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It is weird, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's fun because we all know, everyone looking at this and knowing about the project knows that there has been a mass inspiration
Yeah.
from Pokemon. It's just whether that you can prove that they've taken it and ripped it straight out and put it into the game to be like made money from.
Yeah. And I guess it spawns a very interesting question, like how much inspiration are you allowed to draw from something before it becomes copying?
Yeah. I mean, because we've had a lot. I would say, in my opinion, there's been people that have been done for copyright or infringements upon intellectual property.
Yeah.
For I would consider much less,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
So it is very surprising, like you say, that they have not come down on them. But I mean, if we're just going, and it's different sort of ballpark, but I know you more than me, but we have had issues with fair use of like video clips and music and stuff. And
Yeah.
I feel like that is a slightly different conversation because you are literally using the source material, but you're adding to it by
Yeah. Which then makes it
covering the
fair use.
conversation.
Yeah.
But with this, you could probably say it's the same argument
Yeah.
because even they're not using exactly the same design because they're not exactly the same. They're using very similar design, but they're portraying it in a different way and they're using it in a different way mostly. So
Yeah.
it's one of them ones where I think it's gonna be very difficult to definitively say or definitively prove that
Yeah.
it's literally just a straight rip. But I'm definitely gonna give it a go because it does look quite fun.
Yeah. Me too, I think.
And I feel like it's something that they could have done easily. Like Pokemon could have done this easily.
Yeah.
But they do rest. I feel like they do just rest on the fact that it's so popular with merchandise, cards, the existing games, and people just buying into, like, new people buying into all the existing revenue streams. So they're like, fuck it. I mean, Pokemon Go is still
Yeah.
fairly big, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, they obviously just don't give a fuck. They're like, right, let's just sit on this absolute money machine that is Pokemon Go, the cards, the merchandise, all that sort of stuff. But yeah. Bobby says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers for doing my job for me, mate. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you do want to go that little bit extra, a little bit of a plug, I know, $4.99 for the VIPs, the members. You can become a member for $4.99. You get a VIP episode every 2 weeks. There you go. You might even see me play Palworld if it's still up and running.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was thinking that when we were talking about doing this episode today, I thought it'd be good to stream that.
Yeah. 'Cause it is multiplayer as well. So
Yeah, 4-player co-op, isn't it?
it is indeed. Bobby, there's a dinosaur version of Pokemon Go. Is there? Never heard of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Dinosaur went.
I think it's Jurassic Park themed.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I would expect that is something 100% I would expect. Just once that came out and was as popular as it was, I bet there was just like everyone everywhere. We need to make a Pokemon Go right now for our brand.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm absolutely fucking shattered this week. I've started keto and it's shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it is shit.
Is it shit just because you started though, or is it shit because you don't really like keto?
No, it's just shit because, well, a bit of both. Like, it's not even, do you know what? It's not even the fucking carbs thing. It's just like the sugar and like chocolate and stuff
Yeah.
that I miss.
Are you like being 100% strict on sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
you're not even really allowed, unless you get like the most rank dark chocolate ever. I don't even know if you like dark chocolate.
Yeah, it has to be over 75%.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything
I
I'd say
do like dark chocolate, but obviously fucking, I mean, you get to 80%, it's just inedible.
it's just tar. It's basically tar at that point in time.
Yeah.
Enough. But yeah, more power to you though. I did quite like the keto diet when I did it, but I don't think I was as strict on the sugar stuff. I mean, I weren't like bad, but yeah, the thing is with keto, you got to be mindful about, what else you have with you. You've got your main meat, you have your meat, and you're like, right, what else do I have with it? What else do I have with it? Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are you kind of angling towards at the moment? What's your go-to?
Pretty much like lunches have been like mince and lettuce and cheese. Dinner yesterday. What was for dinner yesterday? Did I have the omelette yesterday? I think so. I like a omelette with bacon in it and cheese. Because a lot of vegetables and fruits have carbs in them as well.
Yeah,
It's just really fucking hard. But yeah, I'm on day 4.
day 4. Fuck me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what fruit you could have. I know blueberries are quite low in sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had any fruit yet. Peanuts.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How long do you reckon you'll last?
Well, I want to do it till my holiday on the 24th of February, but that's a long way away.
That does seem a long way from right now.
I think it's 30 days today, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, see what we can do, but I don't know. It's really hard. It's hard. It's weird because on keto you can eat as much as you want. So that's sort of like how you get around it, kind of being a bit shit. Is like you just eat and eat and eat, but I haven't been eating and eating and eating, so I'm just hungry all the time.
Yeah. And then you can't just have something, unless it's something like peanuts or something like that. You can't really just have something snacky because it's not going to be, chances are it's not going to be keto. So you do have to, like, I've literally witnessed, Maya eat in front of me ham rolled up in the middle is coleslaw.
Yeah.
And that's a meal. And I'm like, that is, I mean, fair play, but that's just not going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, more power to you.
Thank
Respect
you.
the grind.
Thank
Respect
you.
the grind. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. Obviously, bit I would say unconventional, but we came back and tried a live stream. We might try next week. I think Dan's doing a course at the moment, so he's going to be struggling to make the 5 o'clock. But we might push next week's one back to 5:30 and see if Dan can make it. That'd be nice just to have a catch up with him, hear about what he's been doing. Obviously, I don't think we haven't spoken to him since before Christmas, have we?
I don't think so.
No. So yeah, be interesting to see what he's been up to, what he's been doing over Christmas.
Yep.
His account of how Mexico was.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Hope you're having a good time wherever you are, wherever you're listening and watching from. And we'll see you in the next one. Up the APMA. Bye-bye for now.
See you later, everyone.